Don't settle for a path that isn't your own. For a white picket one-way ticket. Say no to comfortable, to safe, the easy way. Don't aspire for 9 to 5, zero drive, wonder, am I alive? Don't settle for a job you want to snooze the alarm on. Set your soul on fire. Keep searching. You've got time. Don't settle for closed minds, signs of the times, for coloring inside the lines. Don't settle for regret, for okay, for good, for great. Why stop there? Be better. Do better. Better design. Better brands. Better business. Then, better your best. Don't settle for being a supporting character in someone else's story. For playing it small, playing it safe. Playing for the rule makers, the takers. Salute the game shakers. Then, become one. Don't settle for ceilings when the stars are in clear sight.
That water is weird.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our Facebook presentation on Vega. I'm going to hand over to Francois to do his presentation. Hi, Francois. You are live on Facebook. You may speak.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Francois. I'm the campus head at the Vega Johannesburg campus. Thank you so much for joining our session today. It's always a pleasure to share who we are, what we do, and why we matter with potential Vega students. Vega is celebrating our 22nd year this year, and we graduate multidisciplinary collaborators, students who can work together in groups to solve real life brand challenges in business and society. Vega is a brand of the Independent Institute of Education, South Africa's largest, most accredited, registered provider of education, with more than 23 campuses across 6 faculties and 40,000 plus registered students. Vega is one of those 4 campuses, and the IIE is also registered and accredited by the British Accreditation Council to make sure that all we do is aligned with international standards in providing your education to you. A few questions on why should you choose Vega as your preferred tertiary provider. Just some unique selling points that we stand out is that we build a very close relationship with our industry to ensure top positions for our graduates. We're the only brand focused school on the continent and also internationally, and we hold the international accreditation through the Independent Institute. We've got 5 campuses, one in Cape Town, one in Durban, Pretoria and Johannesburg, as well as an online campus with a growing degree and postgraduate offering. More information is on our website at vegaschool.com. 3 areas that makes Vega qualification unique is that we train students in complex problem solving, critical thinking, and creativity. If you look at the latest research by the World Economic Forum, you will know that these skills are top on any workplace, especially for the fourth industrial revolution. The feedback that we get from industry as well as our students is that we really enhance the thinking of our students and then the way they approach problem solving. We call that wisdom with magic, where we train a student that's already strong strategically in design thinking and creativity, or a student that's naturally a designer in strategic thinking. We call that wisdom with magic or whole brain thinking, something that we believe the world needs now more than ever. When we look at our degree and undergraduate offering, we have various qualifications from a higher certificate into our degrees, into postgraduate offerings as well as master's and doctorate studies. And my colleague Naledi, one of our contact navigators, will take us through the details of that. Thank you, Naledi.
Thank you so much, Francois. So as you see at the bottom of our screen moving up, we have 3 of our higher certificate qualifications. And then mainly on the left side of our screen, you'll see that we have our design qualifications. And on the right-hand side, our business and branding qualifications, which is our undergrad, which then lead into our postgrad qualifications. In the brand management faculty, we have the high certificate in brand building practice, the BA in brand building and management, the BCom in strategic brand management, the BCom in digital marketing, as well as the BCom honors in strategic brand management. The BBA in brand building and management is a hybrid qualification which combines both strategy as well as creativity. It harnesses an entrepreneurial mind as well as an innovative mind. The possible job opportunities in this field would be a brand manager, an entrepreneur, a brand activation coordinator, a brand strategist, and a media planner, just to name a few. And the minimum entry requirements into this qualification would be a national senior certificate with a bachelor's pass and a minimum of 30% for English, a minimum of 50% for mathematics, and a minimum of 60% for maths literacy. Typically, this degree is tailored to suit a student who is very good with finance, economics, as well as business management, and is also a qualification that I obtained from Vega many moons ago, which sort of helped me understand how brand speaks to business, as well as using brand in an entrepreneurial space and to solve brand and business problems creatively. The BCom in Strategic Brand Management is a qualification tailored for a student who is very business focused and also wants to understand the commercial side of brand. Possible job opportunities in this field would be a strategic planner, an entrepreneur, a brand strategist, a marketing manager, and a brand auditor. The minimum entry requirements into this qualification would be a national senior certificate with a bachelor's pass and a minimum of 30% for English, a minimum of 50% for mathematics, and a minimum of 70% for maths literacy. The BCom in digital marketing is tailored for a student who is commerce focused, but also wants to understand how marketing on a digital platform works in the branding space as well. Possible job opportunities in this field would be a digital marketer or strategist, a media planner, an electronic marketer, a content coordinator, or a marketing director. Minimum admission requirements into this qualification would be a national senior certificate with a degree pass, a minimum of 30% for English, a minimum of 50% for mathematics, and a minimum of 60% for maths literacy. Within the brand communications faculty, we deliver an advanced diploma in brand innovation, a BA in strategic brand communication, a BA honors in strategic brand communication, postgraduate diploma in brand building, as well as a master's in creative brand leadership. The BA in strategic brand communication is a degree tailored for students who want to understand how to articulate their brand, as well as to who they want to articulate their brand to. Possible job opportunities in this space would be becoming a brand and communications planner, a strategic planner, an account executive, an event manager, and a public relations planner. Minimum entry requirements into this qualification would be a national senior certificate with a degree pass with a 30% minimum for English. So an example of student work that has been done in this qualification would then show you how you would use this qualification to speak to your target audience and to understand your target audience and their demographic, as well as understand the consumer journey of the product or service, and understand how the budget will be split and on which platforms, as well as the timeline of the budget split as well. In the design faculty, we deliver the following qualifications: a higher certificate in creative development, a higher certificate in photography, the BA in graphic design, the BA in digital design, the BA in interior design, the BA in creative brand communication, specializing in copywriting, the Bachelor of Computer and Information Sciences in game design and development, the BA honors in graphic design, as well as the BA honors in interior design. The BA in graphic design is for the born visual narrator and those who live and breathe the art of storytelling through both traditional and digital imagery. Possible job opportunities in this field would be a graphic designer, an illustrator, an art director, a graphic artist, a web designer, and a graphic recorder. Minimum admission requirements into this qualification would be a national senior certificate with a bachelor's pass and a minimum of 30% for English. So examples of student work and where you would see graphic design rolling out would be on billboards, magazine and newspaper ads, posters, campaign development, storyboards, as well as radio ads. This is an example of student work that delves more into visual identity and branding. So here you'll see it in the form of an envelope, business cards, as well as letterheads. And examples of how design could be rolled out on digital applications such as a mobile phone, an iPad, a desktop, or a laptop. And this is an example of how design would then roll out on packaging designs in the form of perfume packaging, wine packaging, and at the bottom, this is an example of student work that they designed packaging for Colgate, as you can see. And this was by Erin Pearson at our campus here in Joburg, and for Colgate toothbrushes. The BA in digital design is the weapon of choice for the visual communicator, driven to combine their innate creative capacity with cutting-edge technology. Possible job opportunities in this field would be motion graphics designer, 2D and 3D animator, visual effects specialist, an app designer, as well as an entrepreneur. Minimum admission requirements into this qualification would be a national senior certificate with a bachelor's pass, as well as a minimum of 30% for English. This is how you can see the design element roll out on web development as well as app development, both on a phone device, a laptop, and as you can see on the right side of the screen, this is then an app that was developed on a phone device. The BA in interior design is for the born visual narrator and those who live and breathe the art of storytelling through traditional and digital imagery. Possible job opportunities in this field would be a corporate designer, a retail designer, a hospitality designer, a residential designer, as well as an exhibition designer. The minimum entry requirements for this qualification would be a national senior certificate with a bachelor's pass, a minimum of 30% for English, a minimum of 50% for mathematics, and a minimum of 60% for maths literacy. So this is examples of how an interior designer would work in industry. So usually an interior design student would work closely with an architect, but to design the interior of a building structure. And this is an example of how we incorporate strong, eco-friendly interior designing strategies in our teaching. This is an example of a student's work, Kayla Vieira. The BA in copywriting is for the gifted storyteller. So this is for a student who has a love for languages and loves words. Possible career opportunities in this field would be a copywriter, creative director, online content manager, a PR consultant, or a digital journalist. The minimum entry requirements for this qualification would be a national senior certificate with a bachelor's pass and a minimum of 30% for English. So this is an example of how creative writing as well as design would then work together. So usually in this field, a copywriter put together with a graphic designer and a digital designer would work together to produce creative work. The BCIS in game design and development is creating gaming content for everything, from home consoles to computers to newly established platforms like mobile phones and other handheld devices. Possible career opportunities in this qualification would be becoming a game developer or programmer in various platforms, a commercial software developer, a digital animator, a texture artist, a level designer, or a simulation designer. The minimum entry requirements into this qualification would be a national senior certificate with a bachelor's pass and with a minimum of 30% for English, a minimum of 50% for mathematics, as well as a minimum of 60% for maths literacy. So with game design and development, we couple together the design and development element of the qualification. So in this, you will see students not only just design the game, but everything that happens in the environment of the game to the fashion of the game as well, towards the character. Actually physically design a board game as well, to introduce them to all facets of design and development in terms of gaming. The higher certificate in photography are for talented individuals seeking their authentic visual voice through different genres of photography. Possible this field would be becoming a photographic assistant, a retail representative, a sports photographer, a portrait photographer, or a wedding photographer. And the minimum entry requirements for this qualification would be a national senior certificate with a bachelor's pass and a minimum of 30% for English. This is an example of student work in the commercial photography space, action photography, landscape photography, as well as portrait photography.
Thank you, Naledi. If we look at some of our students and the competitions that they participate in, you'll see on the screen the Creative Conscious, Penduring, which is mainly a language competition, the ISTD, as well as the DNAD, that are international competitions. The Luries, very popular on South African soil, but also international with Luries Africa and Middle East. And as you know, last year we were appointed as the top tertiary provider by the Luries based on the student work that we've entered. I would like to share some of the examples of the student works. This was the Adobe Design Achievement Awards, where Kyle and Lesejo, a multimedia and a visual communication student, made the top talent category based on a project that they did for Adidas, very much focused on female in sport, and the tagline, "Ability is greater than gender." I would like to ask that you go and search these websites, the Adobe Design Achievement Awards, and you'll see how many international schools participate. So we're extremely proud of Kyle and Lesejo for this massive achievement. This was work from 2 years ago by Rafael Kapasami and Jenny Groenewald, also collaborating together as designer and multimedia designer. And they've entered this work in the DNAD, an international competition, which they won a yellow pencil for. Also a project that they did for Adidas in promoting social and community work while gaining points towards your Adidas product. Marius Satoy, one of our Vega Pretoria students, won this as the International Creative Conscious Award, very focused on wellness, a very trendy and very important topic of our time, and using these posters to create awareness around anxiety and such. And extremely proud of Marius for this amazing achievement. Cara, Vinny, and Tsejo won the a gold Lurie for a Lurie Facebook challenge. The brand that they worked for was He for She, an international brand, and they focused on how everybody knows the male football players, but not the female football players. And they've used this campaign to create awareness around that. Again, very much about gender equality, and extremely proud of this campaign that they've produced. And here they are with the Facebook representative in South Africa. We also do design jams. It's a one-day design challenge. We call it a drop-in brief to replicate the industry. So often you'll be working on several projects, and the creative director will come into the room and say, tools down. This just came in. We need to produce something by the end of today. So we do that with real life clients. These were some of the work that our students did. This was a design jam, a drop-in brief that we did for Comic-Con. This was for our first-year students that they came up with t-shirt design for the 2019 Comic-Con, and the product was actually sold at Comic-Con as a collector's item. We take part in the Wild Bean Designer Cup competition with Wild Bean Cafe and BP. So the cups that we get currently at the Wild Bean Cafes were actually designed by Vega students. We again participate in that project this year. Last year, Tana won the competition, and her designs are in place at the moment, and we're submitting our designs for this year's challenge soon. So extremely proud of the work that our students produce. Just moving on to brand challenge. Vega is known for its brand challenges. That is where all the final year students in third year and postgraduate team up together to work on a real life brief for a real client. We currently in our brand challenge cycle. As we replicate the world of work, Brand Challenge is completely online and virtual. We've got 70 teams working nationally on 30 clients. The clients briefed the students last week, and currently the students have done their research. They're busy with insights and findings and coming up with a strategic solution and a creative direction for possible brand challenges. We're so excited to share some of the clients that we're working on and worked on in the past. Big corporates like Absa Bank and MultiChoice, and a big group of our clients are also non-profit organizations. We've done work for many community-based organizations, small businesses, to really give students a wide variety of brand challenges to work on. At the end of the 5-week cycle, the client returns and the students then present their work to the client. And often the client bring their agency or their marketing and brand team with them. And often students are given opportunities to implement that challenge and to work with that client. Again, these were some of the clients in previous years that we worked on, and many clients return in future years to participate and tap into young minds for the real challenges that they produce. Many of the work that we work on is purpose-driven and healthy brand practice to really encourage students to make a difference in their community. Industry engagement and immersion is also an opportunity for students to get real life industry practice and exposure. And we make contact with these industry partners to track our graduation success rate and the way that students participate in industry. So a real benefit of being a Vega Knight and working closely with industry through all these various platforms that we offer.
So currently our 2021 applications and registrations are currently open. We'd like to encourage you to go onto our website to apply, and the supporting documents that you would need in order to complete your application would be your matric results, a copy of your ID, and a copy of your account payer's ID, as well as the proof of payment of the early bird application fee of 700 Rand. Our applications do come to a close on the 30th of November. Our final open day for the year will be held next week, Saturday, on the 24th of October at all of our campuses from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. In order to book your spot and RSVP, please go onto our website.
There's more information on our website, vegaschool.com. Thank you.